So, I bet you all thought you'd seen the last of Rinka King, and that never again you'd get to hear me make your girls sing. Well, for fans of India's finest wrestling promotion, I have some good news. You'll be getting not just this bonus video, but also the conclusion to my original project. I needed to make this video because I need your help, but also because for some reason, people can't get enough of the main character on Rinka King. Just like our competitor on Ring of the Hawk today couldn't get enough of Yorkshire puddings filled with icing sugar. So, why do I need your help? Well, when Rinka King was finished, I was genuinely sad. There was something about that show. It features some of my favourite wrestlers of all time and also introduced me to some Indian wrestlers. And regardless of what you thought of their in-ring work, it can't be denied how entertaining they were. So, seeing as Rinka King will never air again, I guess I've got questions that need answering, and so do all of you. So this is why all Rinka King episodes are going to be combined into a giant marathon viewing. But if that doesn't get your feathers flying, these episodes are going to be broken up with interviews from two wrestlers who are on the show. So I'm pleased to announce that in the coming week, I'll be interviewing Nick Aldis, aka Magnus, and also Jimmy Rave.
It's Jimmy Rave, and I'm ready to get this match over with so we can party! Woo!
This is a pretty big deal to me. I've never interviewed any wrestlers before, so hopefully I don't suddenly develop brother peace microphone syndrome. I'd love it if you could all shove comments down below on any questions you have for these guys relating to Rinka King. It's not exactly a subject which anyone has talked about much before. From what I understand, Jimmy Rave trained most of the Indian talents, and Magnus was the second ever world champion over there, so they should have some good stories for us. So, all together, let's make that final Rinka King video the best it can possibly be. Today's competitor on Ring of the Hawk was requested a lot for some reason. WWE Mindhead even threatened to shut me in a cupboard and kill Court and hit me with a stick over this. And of course,
if you know a wrestler that can do the J-O-B to the H-A-W-K any night, any day, ha ha! Shove their name in the comments, Jack!
Alright, let's do it. Is he a boy or is he a man, or does he belong in the trash can? It's the 8-year-old obese Indian boy. Match 1, the homeless man, who looks like his face is melting like he's made out of wax. For those of you who haven't watched my Rinka King series, this was Rinka King's attempt at trying to create a monster character. But it didn't seem to work, because look at the state of him. He's taken on our guy, the 8-year-old obese Indian boy. A year on, and I still can't get over what a peculiar looking individual this little boy is. He runs to the turnbuckle, so the homeless man runs out of the ring. The boy shakes his boobs at the crowd with happiness. The homeless man has been out in the cold for a while, so he tries to steal some heat from the boy's lard. And then he boots him square in the gut. Homeless man punches the boy into the ground. Then the match is literally over in seconds. Both men are green as hell. The homeless man takes his filthy thumb and jabs it into the boy's neck and shakes him until he's unconscious. This was literally child abuse. Someone call the Indian authorities and report this man. After the match, the homeless man cuts a promo about deserving a world title shot. For some reason, he thinks beating up an 8-year-old obese boy is worthy of being in the main event. This match was an F, and the boy isn't really funny at this point either. He's funny to look at, but he didn't do anything through choice. Also, he didn't hit a single punch, so it's not going to be an A, is it? Match 2, NUNZIO and everyone's favourite Jerry Ryan versus the team of the Indian LEATHERMAN and our boy. I will say, as stupid as that boob shaking taunt is, at least it makes him stand out from the others. The boy is determined to start the match and tells the LEATHERMAN off. Jerry Ryan tries to knock the boy down, but he's too fat. The boy then charges at Ryan and knocks him down with ease. NUNZIO then gets in the ring, but the boy is prepared and hip tosses him and tags the Indian LEATHERMAN in. Suddenly a midget runs out and comes into the match, and all the wrestlers are chasing him. The boy sort of catches him on the outside, and then he knocks him into the steps, and it looks a bit botchy. I'm not even sure if it was deliberate. The boy doesn't like the attention being taken away from him. That's probably why he did it. The midget eventually leaves and the LEATHERMAN has been isolated. The boy finally gets the tag and he punches Ryan down as the crowd erupt. He hits a couple of clotheslines and the lowest drop kick I've ever seen, and then the boy gets a 2 before it's broken up. The boy looks like he's in control and he stalks Jerry Ryan, and then he rolls Jerry Ryan up, but Jerry Ryan rolls on top of him and grabs the ropes. It's over, the boy is outskilled and outmatched. It was better than the last match by far. The boy got to hit a lot of boob-shaking punches and the crowd reacted well to him. I know the moves that he's doing aren't exactly advanced, but he does bring energy to everything he does. It's still a D though. You can't get an A just for smacking somebody one. Match 3, Gauntlet for the #1 contendership for the world title. The match starts out with Magnus. Remember to get your questions in for him. He's starting out with a fake UFC fighter, Max B. I'm pretty sure this is the only guy on the show who did do as bad as the boy, but he's not even funny, so he can shove it. Anyway, our boy is the next entrant. Why does he do that thing with his arms every time he moves? The boy starts out decking Magnus and he celebrates a bit too early because Magnus hits him with a big boot. Magnus has both of the Indian jobbers down though and he's taking it easy. He tries to get the boy out but Max B makes the save. Dr. Nick Dinsmore is now in the match and he almost eliminates the boy, but he's far too fat. The boy attacks Magnus again and then he's getting beaten on by Cowboy Trevor Murdoch, but his partner, the Indian Leatherman, saves him. He needn't have bothered though because the Underfaker throws him out. Then the big boys have a brawl, but they both end up on the outside of the ring. Adonis is now in the match and he goes straight for the boy in the corner. Him and Dinsmore try to get the boy out, but they're struggling with his weight issues. The midget and the giant are out next and the boy is thrown across the ring along with everybody else. The giant then eliminates himself and he's never to be seen again. Steiner is out next and he Steiner lines the boy down. Then Steiner hits the world's biggest belly-to-belly suplex on the boy, but somehow he's still in the match. I spoke too soon. Steiner chucks him out over the top rope. It's over. No eliminations, but he outlasted most of his Indian comrades. Let's give him another D, but he definitely needs to get a win on the board now. Match 4, the 8-year-old obese Indian boy teams up with his good buddy, the Indian Leatherman. They wait in the ring to find out who they'll be taking on. Then Scott Steiner's music hits, and as Steiner flexes his arms, the boy looks like he's dumping in his nappy. Steiner is teaming up with his random dude's extreme partner Abyss, who thought he was Godzilla at this point in time. Abyss tries to throw the boy out of the ring, but his belly gets stuck on the ropes. On the outside, Abyss throws him into the guardrail and into the steps. Abyss carries on beating the boy around the outside. He's probably thinking, thank God I'm working with Abyss instead of Steiner. Abyss then gets the boy in the ring and his worst nightmare comes true as the random dudes swap over who they're beating on. Steiner puts the boy in the Steiner recliner. At the same time, Abyss hits the black hole slam on the Leatherman and pins him for the 3. The boy is in the recliner for the entire time and he doesn't even tap out when the match is over. This seemed to upset Scott Steiner, who charges straight into the crowd to attack the audience. It wasn't very good for the boy. I don't think he hit a single punch and I barely saw him because Abyss is 3 times his size. It's an F. Match 5, the American Adonis with Blue Shearer, no not that one, versus the 8-year-old obese Indian boy. The boy looks like he's in a really good mood here and he shakes his boob at the crowd whilst Adonis looks at him with amazement. The crowd are chanting the boy's name. Adonis rubs the boy's fat belly in and the boy looks really annoyed. The 8-year-old hits a couple of punches before Adonis floors him. Adonis then goes for an elbow but misses and the boy covers him straight away for a 1 count. Back on his feet, the boy's trying to punch him down again, but Adonis hits a Samoan drop. You know, I hate it when some wrestlers do the Samoan drop. It should be reserved for Samoans and fat guys, and Adonis is neither. He then puts the boy in the Adonis lock and he taps out. This really isn't going well. The most he's hit so far is a hip toss and a low drop kick. His character work does well again here, and the crowd really like him. It's a D for entertainment, but it's not going to go above that unless he starts hitting some actual moves. Match 6 from Pune, India. He is the boy, and he's taking on one of the Mumbai Cats. This was the Young Bucks before they were famous. Surely the boy can get a win in this one. They shake hands before the match, and then the boy takes the cat down. The boy then hits a drop kick that looks like Gravity was really fighting with. Then, randomly, the boy hits a Northern Lights suplex. Where the hell did that come from? The boy hits a scoop slam and shakes his boobs at the crowd with happiness. He then splashes the cat. Surely that's over. He must be knocked out. No, the cat kicks out at 2. The boy then goes for a drop kick, but the cat holds onto the ropes and he jumps on top of him and pins the boy for the 3. Oh god, he looks so annoyed with himself. The commentary team give him a dressing down about his lack of concentration in the match. I don't really understand why he couldn't have won this one. It was a fun, entertaining match, but it went less than 2 minutes. It really entertained me and I love the boy's facial expressions, but give him a win for God's sake. It's a C. Something we got to see quite a lot with the boys run in Rinka King is promo time. For some reason he gets quite a bit of this.
वजह मेरे दुश्मनों का नसीब वैसे ज्वाला तो मेरे से धोखे से जीत गया लेकिन हाँ बाकी का फाइट रहा मेरा नसीब लेकिन अब बस only जीतना.
Match 7, 8-man tag. It's the Sheikhs with Raisha Saeed. The Sheikhs are Abdul Bashir and his daughter Ariya Davari. They're teaming up with Dr. Nick Dinsmore, who was clearly taking a lot of pills at this time, and Sofatio Vega. They will be taking on the Bollywood boys and their banging theme music.
Make some noise for the Desi boys.
The 8-year-old obese Indian boy and the Indian Leatherman, who is accompanied by the very lovable Angelina Love. The boy isn't tagged in for ages. I guess his team are aware of his losing streak at this point. The Leatherman gets isolated by the bad guys, but he finally hits a bad looking dropkick. He makes the hot tag to the boy, who charges into the ring with clotheslines. Unfortunately, he falls over. He hits a sky high on Sheikh Abdul-Bashir, but the pin gets broken up. He tries to hit a double clothesline on the Doctor and the other fatty, but he completely misses the Doctor and it looks a bit awkward. He just slops into them. The match then breaks down and the boy is left in the ring with Sheikh Abdul-Bashir. The boy gives him a Northern Lights suplex. He has the match won, but Raisha Saeed is distracting the referee. The boy starts arguing with them, and then when he turns around, Sheikh Abdul-Bashir does a small package and pins him for the free. The boy looks like he wants his world to end. It was a bit botchy, but at least he's attempting to do more moves than the other Indian wrestlers. It's a D. Match 8, main event, World Heavyweight title match. The champion Magnus, accompanied by Sanjay Dutt and the Indian Big Boss Man, versus the boy. So, how the hell did we get here? Well, the boy got this title shot in a random draw, but it was actually rigged, and Magnus chose the biggest jobber in Ring King to face. It's the boy. Magnus is laughing so much about the challenge for the night that he falls over. The boy is interviewed on the ramp while shaking his arms constantly. He sounds like such a child. Sanjay Dutt does the ring announcing, Scott Steiner style. He basically says that the boy is the greatest Indian wrestler of all time. He's being sarcastic if you can't tell. I can't believe the boy is in a world title match. Magnus gives the boy his first shot for free. The boy then tries to mount some offense, but Magnus takes him down with ease. Magnus then hits a Michinoku driver, and it's over in literally 20 seconds. Not good at all, it's an F. It's revealed after the match that every single piece of paper in the random drawer had the boy's name written on it, which means that they viewed him as the biggest joke on the roster. And then they were proved right by the way that he wrestled Magnus. Match 9, Battle Royal for the #1 contendership for the world title. The match starts out with lots of wrestlers getting eliminated by Matt Boring. The boy then randomly throws out everyone's favourite, Joey Ryan. How the hell did he manage that? The boy then follows that up quickly by throwing out the fake UFC fighter. What is going on? There's a big brawl going on by the ropes, and then the boy eliminates 4 men at once. The fake Indian strongmen from Family Guy, so Fatty O'Vega and Dr. Nick Dinsmore. I cannot believe he eliminated 4 men at once. This is so hilarious watching this back. Unfortunately, Masters ruins it and chucks the boy out. The match is then won by Mahabali Veera. Well, 6 eliminations by the boy. I have no idea why they decided to give him 6 eliminations. He's been booked like a joke up to this. So, because he chucked 6 guys out, it has to be an A, doesn't it? Maybe this is going to be the start of a push for him. Match 10, 8-man tag. The Mumbai Cats team up with the 8-year-old obese Indian boy and the fake UFC fighter. The other team doesn't get their entrances shown. The boy starts out with Sheikh Abdul and the boy almost puts him away straight away. He follows that up with another 2 count on a backslide. Abdul then tries to pick the boy up, but he can't because he's too fat. The boy gives him a slam and gets another 2 count. He then hits a splash and gets another 2. How is Sheikh Abdul still alive at this point? The boy then decides to tag out because he can't put him away. One of the Mumbai Cats gets isolated for ages and then eventually makes the hot tag to who else but the boy. He punches everyone and slams the 2 Sheiks together head first. Boy then hits a spine buster on one of the Sheiks and then he tries to make the cover, but it gets broken up. The boy then hits a Northern Lights suplex on a Rhea Davari, but he struggles to make the cover and can't put him away. The boy then suddenly, oh, don't do it. He climbs to the top, oh no. And then he tries to hit a swanton bomb, but he misses. And he immediately gets rolled up and pinned. It's over.
Dude, I was watching TNA the other day, and this boy kicked out of my swanton bomb finishing maneuver. Can't believe it, man. I'm going back to Carolina to see my stoner friend Shannon. I'm going to show him this, man.
Such strange booking with this guy. They give him the most spots in every match, and he clearly has the most moves out of the Indian guys, but he always ends up losing. It makes it hard to grade him, but he did actually do a good job in this one. It's a C. Match 11, final match, later that night. The Underfaker is supposed to be taking on the homeless guy, but he's a no-show. Instead, out walks the 8-year-old obese Indian boy. Why is it always him? He has the microphone in hand and he cuts another promo. Not sure what he said, but the crowd found it hilarious, so I'm going to be marking him up for entertaining the crowd.
मुझे मालूम है आज जॉला क्यों नहीं आया और तूने क्या किया उसके साथ ए बोरिया आज भी तुला मारणार घाबरत नाही I am Indian मराठा आहे मराठा.
So we seem to have a bit of an impromptu match here. Huge size difference, but the boy isn't backing down and he shakes his boobs at the Underfaker. The boy outspeeds Faker and he beats his bandana off. The boy hits a kick to the gut and then the 10-punch boob shake in the corner. Faker then completely floors him. He hits a scoop slam and an elbow drop. The crowd are in complete silence. The boy tries to make a comeback, but he gets a boot in the face. Faker then hits the choke bomb, and it's over. I really thought this might be the match that he'd finally get a win. Why bother putting him in this spot? Faker carries on pounding on him after the match, then he nails him with a choke slam. Then the Bollywood boys make the save. The match is a D for entertainment. I think we were all rooting for the boy here. Such strange booking. The boy would not have any more matches in Ring Ka King after this, but he would appear as the best man at the wedding segment between the very lovable Angelina Love and the midget. And this is how I like to remember the boy. Smiling in the badly fitting blue shirt. And not by his one last match in TNA a few years later where he lost to Josh Matthews. Look, he was clearly very green, but he was the best out of all the Indian wrestlers. Ring Ka King were pushing Mahabali Shera, but I thought the boy was actually far better in the ring than him at this point. Despite how green he was, he showed a willingness to try new moves, and as the matches went on, he attempted more and more stuff. The crowd were behind him the whole way, and he certainly had a unique look. He was probably the MVP of Ring Ka King. According to most of the comments on these videos, he's all people want to talk about, so he must have done something right. Think about it, would any of you enjoyed this series as much if the boy wasn't on the show? I'm going to give him a developmental contract on Ring of the Hawk. That Indian market could be money for us in the future. The boy gets a C, not for wrestling ability, but for entertaining me. And finally, I think we all know what needs to happen. WWE is starting their NXT India project, and the star of the show needs to be the 8-year-old obese Indian boy. Batter their social media with images of this guy. He could be absolute money to the Indian market. In wrestling, he needs to right all of his wrongs, and if you don't agree with that, you're nothing but a bunch of bitches wearing thongs.